Why do we need people to think we're so important? In my mind, I see two types of production guys. There is a production guy who consistently makes other people feel important, and there is a production guy that consistently needs people to know he is important. The tech team can take the brunt of issues at times, and they can be underappreciated, and so then they start to believe this victim mentality. Nobody knows how important I am.
This place cannot function without me.
Yeah. I've said this for a while. I think that the production community is being plagued by pride. Like, we just have so much pride in our community, myself included. Okay, I need to bring some thoughts before you today, Dylan, because every now and then I get. Do you ever get a little bit angsty?
Angsty?
Yeah.
I'm not. Is that a word? You make fun of my word.
Angsty a word?
You make fun, I don't want to start off wrong on the wrong foot.
No. But I get like,
and I think you.
Angst.
I think you had a little southern drawl to you as well.
well, I take that as a compliment.
Yeah, California boy with a little southern.
Yeah.
You ever get a little bit of angsty?
Angsty? No,
Okay.
like
Yeah,
you haven't heard angsty?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You just get a little bit like, this is so frustrating and I want to solve it.
Yeah, I ain't disagreeing with you.
Yeah, I ain't disagreeing with you. And it usually, for me, it happens in the later parts of the evening is when my mind starts to get a little bit, it's like you really just need to go to bed.
Yeah, why is that though? But then it's hard to go to bed because you're angsty.
Yes.
Why is that?
Yes. So it's interesting because I also find in moments of angst and frustration, there is some truth to the situation, right? Like there's something there, but usually how we think we need to solve it is not the way to solve it. Last night I was thinking about this. Beautiful part of my job is I get to talk to churches all the time, but also one of the more frustrating parts of my job is that I'm talking to churches all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And people are people, they're messy, just get in their problems. And so last night I was pondering some things, but this one's going to be about production, guys, for all you listening. So,
Which I would say is the majority of listeners probably.
yeah, it's a good, yeah. So it's about you. Production guys specifically, not production women. And we can get into that later.
Oh yeah, why not production
Yeah,
women?
we'll get into that later. No, this is
if you're a lady, don't leave.
no, don't leave. No, this is great news for you.
She went click.
I have some thoughts, and I just like want to wrestle them back and forth with you a little bit, and you can help me work through some of this. But there, in my mind, I see two types of production guys. Okay, and the first one I want to talk about is there is a production guy who consistently makes other people feel important. And there is a production guy that consistently needs people to know he is important.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah. What was the first one again?
There is a production guy who consistently makes others feel important.
Gotcha.
And there is a production guy.
The one that walks in the room and says, I'm here.
Hey, there you are.
Yeah.
Versus, hey, here I am.
Right.
Or, hey, pastor, how can I honor you? Or, hey, pastor,
You're
how can
going
you
too long
honor me?
in the message.
Yeah. I see it. A lot of this episode's going to feel black and white. Well, the dangerous part in all this is like we're probably a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the lack of recognition over the two sides of the teeter-totter. And why is it? This can translate to many others out there. This can translate to worship leaders, but like what we're going to get into is I just specifically see in production people. Why do we need people to think we're so important?
I don't know if it has anything to do with production people. I think that's just human nature.
But there is something so, I see it just so consistently with production people.
That's because that's who you consistently work with.
Yeah. You think it's everyone?
I could be wrong, but production people is where I start being.
Why do we always get the rap of, man, they're just everything is about them and their issues. Why are they like, nobody wants to be around them? They're the Debbie Downers. They're the ones that are just like, and it all leads to this crux of self-importance. Do you not agree with that?
I don't disagree with that. I'm trying to figure out in my own mind. I just don't think it's production people.
Yeah.
Because
When I
for-
read that and I'm like, there's two types of production people. There's the one that makes others feel important. I just don't know many production people who do that.
Yeah, I know a couple. I mean, one name hit me immediately.
Who? Give him some praise here.
I think Adam Taylor
Okay. Actually, I would agree with that in my
at
interactions
Central
with Adam.
is over the top, one of the best dudes when it comes to people just love Adam for Adam. Like, I
Yeah.
love him for his mix. He doesn't have a big social media presence where he's always talking about how awesome he is at mixing. Like he just and you go hang around his team, they just love being around Adam.
Yeah.
And he's been through it. Adam's
Yeah.
been through it, and he still is in the same church. People still love him. He's a strong gatherer of people. He puts on an incredible weekend experience with little to no staff. People look at that and go,
Yeah.
that's something too, right? You look at a massive church like that with that level of excellence, and you start kind of get into the weeds of their process and realize it's 99.9% of volunteers. You can't pull it off if you're not good with people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you want to make yourself feel important.
And why is that? Why is an Adam such a rare occurrence?
That's a great question. So that's what I've been trying to process this whole time. That's why I keep stuttering over my words and I'm pausing. So I'm like, I don't know why that's such a rare. I mean, to me, that is character. It's how he was raised. It's who he's put himself around. It's how he has overcome his hard situations. He could have gone in either direction. It's how he's overcome and gotten stronger and better through that process. He's always been the type of guy that has always been open-handed. He's speaking to even somebody like me that is not on a technical side of things, but I can be at front of house. He is 10 out of 10 times going to ask me whether I'm his producer or was his boss at once or just a friend. He is going to turn back and look at me and honor me by asking me one question. How do you feel about the mix? Is there anything I can do different? I'm like, bro, you're mixing for some of the largest artists in the world right now. Like, why are you asking me these questions? Yeah. That's just how he is. On the other side of things, you swing it and you go to the other guys you're not even allowed to be in their front of house at church. Like, I put a sign out that says, stay out of my booth. Mm-hmm. I don't want anybody in my booth. I've worked with those guys too, right? It's just completely different. There is this stigmatism or this vibe. What is the word I'm looking for? This
Stigma.
That is church production guys are grumpy.
It's an age-old thing.
Yeah, right?
It's an age-old thing. And honestly...
yeah, you hit the head on the nail by saying age, for sure.
Nail on the head.
What did I say?
Head on the nail. Sorry, I always have to correct you at least once on an episode.
I also said stigmatism, which is your eye. I cannot believe...
Production guys are grumpy. We're just idiots.
Yeah, I cannot believe you let that one go. Because when I was at stigmatism, I was like, well, I know that's a saggy eye situation. It's been a day already. Anyways, so it is still out there of like, man, church guys are grumpy, and I don't necessarily agree with that either. I have seen it swing the other way.
Yeah, I still agree with it. I think by and large, we're seen as the grumpy, and until we can like...
No. I'm not saying we're not seen as that. I don't think we are that. Like I've hung around. I've hung around enough production teams now to go. You more than me, but I've hung out with a ton of churches in the production and creative space, and I'm not leaving going, oh, those majority of those guys are just grumpy. I'm not doing that. These guys are awesome. We love going out together. We have a great time with these teams. Mm-hmm. But I have also been a decade ago a part of churches where, reason why I said, I'm just going to say it. It's the older guys in production more than anybody, in my opinion. It's the older aged male tech staff that has carried on this culture of watch your back because nobody else is. fight for whatever you need because no one else is going to fight for you around here. I do it all. I've been doing it all for 10 years.
We'll bleep out names, but like, would you say in that camp?
Was.
Yeah.
I don't see that anymore.
Yeah, it's like I still kind of see that with guys like that.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, you don't understand. I've done X, Y, and Z. I am important.
Mm-hmm.
You are not important.
Mm-hmm.
And sweetheart, like if you can get under the shell of those guys.
You're talking about specifically tour guys that come into the church space?
Well,
they
that's
kinda
just,
carry a little
there's
bit of that.
examples there.
Yeah.
There's examples of, I have done IT at HP.
Sure.
And you guys don't know how this works. It's like, well, dude, what? You know?
Which he's probably right. Someone that has done IT at a level of business like that,
yeah.
with very defined systems, budgets, operating cost,
Yeah.
coming into a church scenario going, how are you
Yeah.
guys even functioning?
Yeah.
Like I can see a little bit of
Well,
a little bit of that.
I talked to a lot of production guys who are like, oh, I can't handle fake pastors. They come into rooms and they're smiling and they're asking people how their day, they're just so fake. So tired of that. Like and I'm like, bro, they're just trying to like be people. They're just trying to come in and recognize you. Well, they don't actually mean it. They don't even remember my kids. Okay, just be charitable for a second. Like at least they're smiling. You're the one that's like grumpily over in the corner changing batteries and microphones.
That's been me. I mean, that's been me.
Yeah, but it's just like we're all human.
And
I don't know. That tends to get tired, in my opinion.
I had I think it was a kids pastor. I was sitting at front of house on staff as the executive producer over all campuses, literally sitting at front of house. All the worship leaders are dotted line to me. All the production are me. I have probably 12 people under my leadership, been there for 5 years, sitting at front of house. And I feel somebody tap my shoulder. And it's a pastor. I turn around. I recognize him as a new hire. And he goes, hey, man, I just want to thank you for serving today and being here. And I thought to myself, if you don't get out of front of house, I'm going to take whatever I can find closest to me and beat you over the head with it. I had that thought. Because I'm like, that was the fakest. First of all, I'm paid to be here. I'm not serving, right? That was my attitude. Immediately just negative.
Yeah.
I'm paid to be here. I'm not serving. Get out of here. You're being fake. You're checking off your checklist, going around talking to volunteers, telling them how thankful you are that they're here serving. So I'm guilty. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just guilty of that.
Yeah.
That happened.
That's why I've said we a lot here.
Yeah, it happened. That happened to me probably 5 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping I've matured, see that was toxic. But yeah, I'm just saying I've done it.
It's without a doubt, and I have to inventory this for myself on a daily basis. Just am I waking up? Where's my heart at? Like, do I lean on the side of being charitable towards others or skeptical? Am I more interested in other people knowing how important I am? Or am I more interested in other people knowing how important they are?
Yeah.
And in the technical realm, I think the reason, yes, we recognize this happens to a lot of people in many different verticals, but the reason in the technical realm this tends to happen more often is because the tech team can take the brunt of issues at times and they can be underappreciated. And so then they start to believe this victim mentality that like, nobody knows how important I am.
And this place cannot function without me.
Yeah. I am so important and nobody knows. And so I need everybody to know how important I am. And I see that trend all the way through to the big dogs.
Yeah.
Like dudes who are very influential in our space that we know. That everybody worships the ground they walk on. And they still have that thing inside them that's like, I've spent years people underappreciating how skilled I am. That's why I feel like Instagram has blown up in the last 5 years, people in our space, because they're like, this is an outlet for people to appreciate me.
Yeah, 100%.
And I don't get the appreciation in my life. I'll get to that a little bit later. The next thing I want to talk about, 2 types of production guys, the one who prays for everyone and the one everyone has to pray for.
Yeah, I mean.
Why do you laugh?
I don't know many that do either one of those. but like my mind just
What do you mean? Does
like
he
I don't
want-
know. I couldn't name 5 people that say in team huddle, "Hey guys, I just need you guys to pray for me." Like I couldn't name 5 production guys that do that. I also couldn't name 5 production guys that go walk around and asking everybody.
Well, the one that everyone's praying for, he's not asking. They're doing it because they're like,
we need to pray for
someone protect this guy.
you. Yeah,
He's, you know, many like that.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
We just need to pray for him.
yeah,
Let's all pray for him.
yeah, yeah. I think you said a little bit of it earlier. It is a little bit of this victim mentality. Because if I can convince people that this is one scenario, if I can, maybe I'm lacking in my job a little bit, I'm not as good as what I thought I was going to be, or this job's a little more challenging. And because I'm the leader, or I'm an audio engineer, or I'm an out front talent, I'm being exposed. My weaknesses are being exposed. Because of that, I'm going through it. I need you guys to pray for me. Because things are going on at home, like, which really you're just kind of hiding, that you're just not.
Yeah, I've frankly rarely, I can count on 2 hands the amount of times I have a production person who's like, I really need you to pray for me.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying just a few minutes ago in the sense of I don't know many that do that.
Yeah.
I'm
saying.
But you're saying by just looking at you, I need to pray for you.
Just interacting with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and you know, rarely do I come across production folks, guys, who are prayer warriors either.
Right.
When's the last time? And I have, and there's some out there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's always encouraging to see. But are you the type of production guy who's like, at the end of Sunday, hey, great job. By the way, how can I be praying for you?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, that doesn't. I don't know if that happens a ton.
Do we believe in the production community like the power of prayer, or is it just it's like the thing that we amplify?
It's happening. It's not common. I've not seen it to be common. Yeah, I mean, I would want to say that even just recently, you know, we're advancing this show right now, and they're like extremely it's not negative or a bad thing. They're extremely spiritual people. I mean, it is like before we spend $1, we pray. Before we make a decision, we pray. Before we do this, we pray. And I've sat in 10 hours with Zoom calls. Yesterday was the first one we prayed in that as a production team. I know those prayers are happening in other teams, right?
Yeah.
But since we were production, we just always kind of were like, I don't know. It's a great question.
Something that messed with me a while back. Not because I doubted that this was happening in his life, but you were telling me that you were doing a show with Corey Edwards. And you were like, man, Corey's just such a solid dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like one night you said he was like, I'm just going to go back to my hotel room and pray.
Mm-hmm. Pray through some things.
And I was like, again, not like, oh, I didn't know Corey. I knew Corey's an incredible guy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just so rare that you have a high profile.
And we were out that night.
Yeah,
like we were out.
High profile,
Mm-hmm.
influential production person, right? Who goes out of their way publicly to communicate that they prioritize prayer in their life.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it was just like, whoa, like I just never see that.
Yeah, the scenario was very simple. It was we were all out, just a few of us guys, and you know, some of us had beverages, some of us didn't. I didn't have a beverage, of course, and he didn't have one. And when he was asked why not, he just made it simple. And it wasn't like a super churchy moment because we were all brothers in that moment.
Yeah.
And I hope he doesn't mind me even sharing this, but he just said, I just don't want to. I'm going to go back to my room and spend some time praying. I'm not going to share with you why, but and he had some stuff going on he had to pray through. And he's like, I'm just going to go. And I remember I was just like, that's why I told you. I was like, these guys exist out here. At the time when I told you, like, that was a powerful moment for me as someone who's an influence in my life, who we've worked on the same staffs together, to go, oh, that's a really good idea sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Man, prayer.
Like, as much as we go through it, you're just telling, you didn't announce it the whole restaurant. He just said, I need to intentionally go back and pray right now. I was like, I should do that more.
Yep. And
you can find he is a very big production. I mean, you say production in church world, his name is on a billboard.
Yeah, Corey's gonna go down like on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
For church production
And
and our generation.
I'll be the one carving his nose.
But what's unfortunate is that there's others who are on that Mount Rushmore who literally I've never heard him talk about prayer once.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is something that like I've always deeply respected, as we're just calling out. I like to give people public praise sometimes, you know. Jeff Sandstrom has like been that for me for the last 10 years now. Like the reason Jeff Sandstrom has so much respect around here at MXU and amongst our community is because he is like the spiritual father of MXU. Anytime we have Jeff, I mean, we've had Jeff on the podcast recently, every single time he is going to find a way to bring spirituality back into what we're doing in church production.
Yep.
Going back to when he started Sonnet House prior to MXU and so on and so forth. Like there are people like that Jeff lives a pretty quiet life. Can do the right next thing in front of him. And oftentimes that's prayer for other people. And I don't know. I just think those are two types of production guys that I see. Something else I see often, you're going to love this one. The one who blows their budget on volunteer lunches and the production person that blows their budget on dopamine, AKA gear.
Yeah. Which one do you think is the majority there?
Of course, the one who blows their budget on gear.
Yeah.
Oh, we got extra waves plug in. Like, dude, I love gear. You ask anybody who knows me, they know I am a gearhead. Like I love systems. Whether it's in church production or other facets of life, I'm the first, okay? I'm not trying to holier than thou here, but it's like, we love spending our money on stuff. I see this in all the conversations I have where people are like, oh, we're just, those technical conversations with church leaders. Our fiscal year starts here and we got this one purchase to make and this other thing. Like, never is it like, oh, bro, we just like went gangbusters at Chick-fil-A for our last team night and it pushed us over.
Yeah.
That's never the conversation.
Yeah.
But it's more typically the root of so many of our issues in the ministry is underappreciated people, undertrained people. We don't know people's kids' names. Hey, I want to take a quick break and tell you about MXU. MXU is the one platform that you need to run your worship and tech ministry. We do it through helping you train your volunteers with thousands of training videos and automated pathways. We help you plan your weekend services with team messaging, task management, and automated scheduling. And then lastly, we help you actually run and execute Sunday with dashboards that connect all the tools that you currently use into one place. If you want to learn more about it, you can head to getmxu.com. Now back to the show.
It's just so much easier to care about the other thing.
Yeah, it's dopamine. That's why I said dopamine, because I truly think it's dopamine for production people.
Yeah, we know buying stuff hits a dopamine trigger. Like just me going to Amazon and purchasing things, that is automatic triggering dopamine. That's known. So now you take it and you buy something that is helping or making it better or sound better or look better. Now you're getting a double dopamine hit. You're purchasing dopamine hit 1. Then dopamine hit 2 is...
It's not your money.
Dopamine 2. Dopamine 3 is that you now get to see it in action. And that is awesome. I also have that same dopamine hit. I have dopamine hits when I purchase things. I have dopamine hit when I see it happen in real time. Where the dopamine lacks for most is taking someone out to lunch and listening to them vent or listen to them talk about their mom with stage 4 cancer. That is draining.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a dopamine hit. You leave those conversations and you are exhausted.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I don't want to do that again. Because now it's 2:00 in the afternoon. I feel like I need to go home and take a bath because I'm just so depressed. Right? It's the exact opposite. And so where the leader shines is when they have dopamine hits for buying and purchasing gear. And they get a dopamine hit when that person shares with them that they have needs, and that leader puts their hand on their shoulder and says, "Can I pray for you?" And they get a dopamine hit, which is the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the leader shines, in my opinion, that they can do both and manage both. It's a rare breed. They do exist, but that's where I think they shine.
Yeah, I think that's well said. I'm going to move on to the okay.
Thank you. I appreciate you think that's well said.
You're going to love this one too. The one who brags about their leadership, oversight,
Mm-hmm.
and the one who talks, or the one who complains about their leadership or oversight.
The best.
How common do we see that?
It's the
How
most
often?
common, and it's the most common.
Whether it's a worship pastor, senior
Yeah.
pastor, we had this
Kids group,
conversation
I
on the
don't
whole
care.
timing thing.
Yeah. I'm just going to say it. John Maxwell breaks this down very, very well. And I still use this book as a leadership principle for most of these situations. The level 5 leader, 1 through 5. What we see most in our category, unfortunately, opinion, level 1 to level 2 leaders, leaders by title.
Mm-hmm.
So level 1, if a level 1 leader is a leader by title, you've given me a title, therefore I'm that leader.
Yeah.
That's where we live. Or you're not even on the level 1 to 5 scale yet, and you're like, I just want that title. But to be a level 5 leader, titles have nothing to do with that. And yeah, so
you're saying them complaining about their leadership, their oversight.
Mm-hmm. For those that complain about their leadership and oversight, I would think what they're saying is, I don't have any and I deserve it.
So you're saying it comes from a place of, I've again, not feeling important.
Why do people not see me as a leader around here?
Yeah,
I can lead people.
Which is like the crux. Again, that's where I go back to the need to feel important.
Yes, I can lead. I want to be a leader. I want to be a leader. I know leaders get paid more around here.
Nobody asked me how long the sermon should go, but I know how long it goes every week.
Because that's leadership.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've been that guy. I sat across a table from a leader and said, I want to be a leader around here. Like, why am I not viewed as a leader? I've said these words. This is a decade ago. He's like, I want to be a leader around here. He goes, yeah, that's great. Who are you leading?
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, who are you currently leading? Like, who are you building influence with?
Yeah.
And he just said it. You're not a leader.
Do you find that the ones who honor their leaders and brag about their leaders are ones?
No. I don't know what you're getting ready to say, but no, you lost me already. What's the next one?
You're saying you've never seen anybody do that?
I don't like that.
You don't? No.
I don't know where you're going, so I interrupt you. I apologize. But you said honor and brag. I was like, I'm out.
I'm saying we'll go back to Adam, okay?
Yeah.
Because actually Adam does a good job.
I'm not out on the honoring part. I'm out on the weird elevating part.
Adam would brag about Judd. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's the difference. There's people who would complain about Judd as their leader, and there's people who would brag about Judd as their leader in production. We see those two things. Adam's another great example we'll call out. Honor culture is very important to Adam. I've never heard him ever say a bad thing about Judd.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Of course, Judd's human, so there's problems.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you see in those people who tend to brag about their leaders and tend to honor their leaders, their leadership, their oversight, right? Why are they able to do that? And is it because they've been given leadership and so they don't have that insecurity of, I don't feel important?
No, it's not because they were given. It's because they earned it. Because they're actual good leaders.
So the first step is bragging and honoring about your leadership.
No. That's not even a step in leadership, in my opinion. You are not convincing me that you're a good leader because you know how to say good words about the person who's leading you. That's a culture thing.
Yeah.
You are showing me you're a good leader because when I walk in the room, people come to you for influence.
Because you make them feel significant and important.
So when you walk in the room and everyone's like, oh, what's up, Adam? They all stand up to give you a hug and we're glad you're here. That's a leader.
Yeah.
When you walk in the room and people turn their backs to you and walk away from you because you have a title over them, you are just a level 1 leader by title.
Yeah. And you
I
tend to
don't
be, and
the
you will
bragging
then,
and honoring part, that's not a leadership trait, that's just a character trait. That's just who you are.
well, it's an outcome I often find
Sure.
of a secure leader.
Yeah, but we know there are churches where you are disciplined if you do not honor your leaders and you do not brag about your leaders. You're disciplined. That is not a leadership trait. That is a weird culture trait.
Yeah. I got a couple more. The one who is always talking about, the production person who's always talking about what God is doing. And then there's the production person that is consistently talking about what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, it's good.
We love talking. I mean, even on this podcast, of course, people are listening. So the production community, we love talking. We love talking about what other people are doing. A couple years back, I told my wife, I told Olivia, I was at a dinner with some production people, and I just came home exhausted. She was like, did you have a good time? I'm like, no, I did not have a good time. She's like, why? And I'm like, I feel like I just know way too much about people after dinners like that. It's just like, did you hear what so-and-so's doing over at they just installed that one PA and you'll never guess who they used to integrate it. Oh, did you hear about so-and-so and what happened over there? And they actually just decided that, they finally realized that Midas sucks. And so they ended up doing this instead. Did you hear about that person? They actually left their church. Oh, that person, they had an affair.
I was going to say, then the gossip comes in.
Yeah, it's just like, it's all over the place.
It is.
When's the last time you sat down at a table with production people and somebody asked the question, what's God up to in your life or in your community? That person is mocked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Mocked. Like, that person's weird.
Yep.
They're just like our fake pastors asking stupid fake questions.
And something to ask yourself who's listening to this is those moments do sting a little bit, but has anyone ever viewed you that way? And that should be a check.
Yeah.
It should be a check. I've been viewed that way only a handful of times, but looking back over my life,
of course it's not me.
I want to make you feel like I'm important. No. The point is that I did 16 years of full-time ministry, and there's only 5 fingers on a hand. So when I say a handful of times, it's like, that's not a lot of times.
Yeah.
So that's actually a conviction of mine, that I wasn't viewed more of that kind of leader than the guy that was just leading in the gossip and the cool church world stuff,
It's the comparison thing.
Yep.
And again, it comes back to that feeling, that needing to feel important. Well, if I don't have information on other people, oh, did you hear about the Fulcrum just sold the Bose? Okay. Great example. It just happened. Oh, well, do you know why? Do you know why? No, tell me. Oh, it's actually because of this and this and that. And so I'm an insider. You can trust me. I'm a big deal. I feel important. I need you to know that I am important, right? It's that it all kind of comes together in this one melting pot. And it's like, dude, nobody cares. Nobody who's actually mature and grounded in their faith cares.
Right. Yeah. That's a
like,
good point. People that get to a place where they don't care because they're so grounded in their faith, man, that's a good place to be.
Yeah, and it causes this, frankly, sometimes I see this be the divide in churches between worship and tech culture. Like, worship pastor, and this isn't always the case, but I've seen this recently a few times where it's like worship pastor has a bit more spiritual maturity than the tech team. And they are trying to lead them and move them along. And the tech team's like, dude, you're
checking off a list.
Yeah.
You're just like that guy.
You're just like that guy. And I see that the technical community sometimes will take cues from each other in this way. And it's like, in a lot of ways, I love the like camaraderie online amongst the technical community. We're all in this together, but sometimes it feels like elitism and a bit of a cult of like, nobody understands us, you know? And yeah, we spend time talking about other people and things that just legitimately do not matter.
Yeah.
But we give them power.
Goes back to dopamine.
Some reason.
Goes back to dopamine.
Yeah.
But then also, too, remind yourself this. There's a reason why you take part in those conversations and you get all that dopamine hit and you're making people laugh and you're gossiping about the church down the road about how their staff are just not good at what they do and we are, or they don't have a PA like we have, or we wish we had that PA, like whatever the angle you want to approach is. But there's a reason why most of us, when we leave those conversations, just about it within an hour after that, we feel exhausted. Because we weren't a part of any sort of life-giving conversation, and the dopamine that we have received has now crashed, and we feel crashed.
Yeah.
There's a reason why you feel crashed.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna end on this one. These are in no particular order. I think that last one was probably the one I feel most convicted about. Two types of production people: the one who is focused on leading his local community, or the one that's focused on leading everyone except his local community.
Define local community.
Your church, your team, the problems, the things that are right in front of your face is staring you dead center in the face. I see there are people who are in that mess and they're like, I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to lead my team. I'm going to lead my church. And then I see another production person who is, yeah, that's not awesome. What I'd rather do is go get recognized elsewhere for how awesome my team is and my culture is.
Yeah.
I'm going to go start an Instagram account.
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
Which is nothing wrong with starting an Instagram
No,
account.
no. I mean, look, I was thinking about this the other day.
I have an Instagram account.
Side tangent. Back in the day when people, I feel like, oh man, some people might twist words and really get mad at me about this, but like 10 years ago, the hot thing when you were not content in your ministry was to start an event. Okay. How many people, it was like, oh, let's start a circle. Let's start a roundup. I'm going to, it's like, let's do events.
Yeah.
And then it slowly turned into, then it became knowledge. It's always been kind of this like passing of knowledge. Now I'm going to go start an Instagram account or a Facebook group or a this or that, some way to, it's like, again, dude, you got issues. Like you're in this local ministry right here, but you seem so passionate about everything other than that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And whatever. Now in the AI age, it's, we always joke around here at MXU because how many AI slop tools now, how many people on Instagram are like, I just built a tool that you're all going to want. Right. And it's like, it all just kind of goes on this journey of like, bro, do you work in church?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, either quit working in church and do this thing or work in your church. Why are you like, I don't understand this infatuation with like, and if you can do both, great. No hate. I mean, like Brad Bramer's a good example of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like Brad, I've never been to Brad's church, but I only ever hear incredible things about Southeast. Like you've told me, like folks at Concord told me they were up there and like, bro, they're dialed. And Brad does a bunch of other stuff. And I'm like, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But like you got your stuff taken care of at home.
Yeah.
Which is sick.
Mm-hmm. Brad's foundation is very unshakable.
You care about your local community.
Yes.
And then everything you do outside of that
mm-hmm.
to others is like an outpouring.
It's a reward for you also. And going back,
I think it's a reward for the people who learn from him.
100%. Right? And just to go back to the John Maxwell level 1 through 5. Level 5 is a leader of people with influence, that have leadership influence over other people who are leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But he did not become that overnight. He started as a 1. He served faithfully, honored faithfully, led faithfully, put people first, and now he's where he's at.
Yeah.
It's those that want to go from 1 to 5.
Yeah.
And you just can't do that.
Yeah.
It's a great resource if you're trying to become a level 5 leader. It really is a great resource.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that there's just nothing more honoring than like doing the thing that you are paid to do that is in front of you for the people that are sacrificing so that you can do that thing.
Yeah. That thing's got to be
pretty simple.
Yeah, it's priority for sure.
Like if you don't want to work in the local church and you want to go do something else, do it.
Yep, 100%.
Just don't stop trying to have it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And
a lot of that's fear driven.
Yeah, sure. And
if I stay here, I get paid every 2 weeks. I get health insurance. I get this. I get that. A little bit of this, that, and the third. Cell phone bill paid for every now and then. Meal out every now and then. Cool staff lunches.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
Yeah, just it's a simple question. It doesn't mean you can't do a little bit of. Where's your priority and your focus? Is your focus in your local community, or is it not in your local community? Are you way more interested in? And I've had this conviction at MXU over the years too. We help churches at a larger scale. I call it like macro ministry. Am I more excited about macro ministry than micro ministry?
Right.
Do I still want to have people over into my home? Do I still want to evangelize to the LDS person who makes their way over to my house somehow?
Mm-hmm.
Do I still want to, like, whatever it looks like for people? Why are you smirking?
LDS, huh? I was like, Latter Day. You're not evangelizing to them.
Yes, I am.
No way.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
You know how I evangelize to them?
Bro, I had a long conversation.
Hey, I got COVID. Fifth. I plead the fifth.
No, it's a whole other conversation, but it's actually one that Olivia and I have been talking about. Another conversation.
Yeah, we definitely do not have time for that one.
Are you invested in your local church? Are you doing the things that we're commanded of, all throughout Scripture, and in being involved, investing in our local community? It's important, and don't undermine it for your macro influence.
Mm.
The reason none of this has to do with women is because I don't know any women who have this problem.
Oh my gosh. They're all great.
No, I mean, really, what the poor woman at the beginning of the episode, you're like, stick around. It's not for you, but stick around. You'll find out.
I regret sticking around. They're like, yeah, you tell them.
No, honestly, well, I thought about that one, and I was like, I honestly, first of all, there's rare is it that we find women leadership in church production. It's becoming more and more common, thankfully. I think it's awesome. But the ones that I do come across, I'm just like, holy smokes, you're a rock star. Like, I just don't see these issues. I think a lot of it, I've said this for a while. I think that the production community is being plagued by pride. Like, we just have so much pride in our community, myself included. And I don't think it's a coincidence that a community that deals with a tremendous amount of pride happens to predominantly be male.
Yeah.
I'm a male, you're a male, we are prideful. It's something we see commonly.
Mm-hmm.
And I just call it as I see it. Like, so I think it's a whole other episode, but I think it's something we could take from our sisters in Christ, like, and take some cues from. So I can think of 5. I'm just like,
would you say people on platform, artists, let's call it artists, do you think artists are also carry this prideful nature about them as well? Yes,
the answer is yes, a whole other 100%. List. We're all humans, so we're on pride.
Stage, we're in the spotlight, we got a little pride to us.
It's a different list, though. It's I don't think it's the same.
But what we're seeing in the production community in the last 5 to 7 years is we are becoming artists. We are being known as artists now. You hear about when you're on a console, you're an artist. Mm-hmm. When you're behind a lighting console, you're not just a production guy.
You're individualism. It's this individualism.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm an artist.
Yeah.
Like this, I'm showing the world my creative skill set.
Yeah.
But that we've just seen that wave in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Maybe a little longer. So that's why you see these Instagram accounts popping up everywhere and these influential individuals. Nothing wrong with it, but they're artists. Mm-hmm. And so they kind of carry that a little bit of, man, I know I'm good at what I do. And a lot of people actually know I'm good at what I do. So I'm going to help people, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to post this. So This has been great, man.
Yeah, I think it is. Dylan's like, yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah,
I got
to go.
something. No,
I gotta
this
go.
is good. If you made it this far, thanks for listening. Hopefully, it's been applicable, helpful, encouraging, convicting, all of it. If you want to learn more about MXU, we'll put information down in the description below. Thanks for listening or watching. We will see you next time on the MXU